Booking appointments is the first step to ensuring that you can hit $40,000 months. And I'm going to break down this video exactly why that is, what you can do, and how you can increase your booked appointments, show rate, and consistently being able to close. My name is Trey. I'm the owner of Agent Lead Lab. In the past 3.5 years, we've helped 550 agents issue pay $40,000 per month. And on this channel, I try to talk about the strategies, tactics, and behaviors that you can go out and implement yourself. So as always, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get right into the video. So today I want to talk about something that I think is super important, which is essentially why booking appointments is step one. All right. So it's a skill to learn how to book appointments properly and set the frame. All right. So once a why is established and you can control the call, it's time to book. All right. So what do I mean? Call the person. Hey, John, getting back to you about the request. Looks like you looking into the veteran life programs. You listed military branch was this, your age was this. Is that correct? They say yes. You say, okay, perfect. The reason I'm giving you a call is pretty simple. I'm just going to ask a few quick questions, figure out where you're at, and then see if we can set a more formal time for us to hop on to a call. Now, veterans, you typically would just try to one call close them a lot of the times if you can. But if it's mortgage protection, IUL, you follow that framework. Now, booking appointments, i.e. presentations, all go in the same frame because it sets you up. It's the setup, right? It's the setup. So from the beginning of the call to the end of the call, you want to control the call. So from intro, you set who you are, why you're calling. Then you ask them, why did you fill out the reason that I'm calling you? Which is simple. Who you are, why you're calling. Really simple. Who you are, why you're calling. Okay, that's number one. Then number two is, why did you fill out the thing I am calling you about? This is more of a frame. All right. So I'm going through the frames because this is super important. Why did you fill the thing I'm calling you about? They tell you and they say, all right, so what are the next steps? So this is where it's either book the app, presentation. All right. Once you've established why you filled it out and who you are, then it's like, okay, let's get this taken care of. You're either going to close them now, or you're going to book a more formal appointment. It's pretty simple, right? So what happens is you have to understand that the sales cycle in its entirety. So some people require you to have their spouse or somebody else there. At that point, I don't like doing one-leggers. I know people that do, they overcome objections, etc. That's never been my style, but do whatever works better for you. My thought process has always been, I want to make sure that the situation is as close to good as it can be for me to be able to present to them to make sure that they can be closed. For example, if I can hear in the background the car running, I'm not going for the Prezi. Now, there's other people that will shoot their shot, but I'm not going for it, right? I'm either going to book a soft callback time or a hard callback. Now, why I think booking appointments is that way? Because you have to understand there are tiers to booked appointments, okay? And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I had this example happen as a life insurance agent the other day. I had a person hop on the call. They basically were like, hey, we talked on Friday. They said, yeah, me and my partner will be able to show up to the call. Only they show up to the call, and they're trying to force me to give them the information to go through stuff. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Why? Because it doesn't make sense. Why am I going to waste my time going through the entire presentation when you're going to give me some sort of objection anyways? Right? Or you're going to be like, oh, I need to send this to them. No, we're not doing that. Do you meet with your clients and have them? No, you don't do that. So we're not going to do that on my call either. We're not going to treat it any different. You're not going to hit me with yeah, we'll get back and I'll hit you up. Like, that's not how it works. We're going to make sure we book a call. We're going to make sure we establish. I can answer the questions that you brought, but we still need to have another formal call because it's decision-making time, man. We're not going to beat around the bush. It's like, do you have it or not? Are you willing to invest or you're not? And theoretically, I don't think I close that person. Like, if I don't close them then it's a no close. And I keep it pretty simple on my end. Booking appointments, though, you have what's called a soft booking, and then you have what's called like a firm booking. Okay. Now, when I was on my way as an agent to doing 20, 30, really 25 to 40K at that point, I could not get over doing like 15K deposits. So I'm like, okay, what do I have to do? And I noticed that everybody around me was saying, 15 appointments every 2 weeks, 30 appointments a week, right? 120 appointments a month. That's the numbers. So I said, well, I'm booking 30 appointments. And I went back and actually looked. And I was not booking 30 appointments. I was booking 30 combo appointments, some soft, some firm. I was really booking like 10 firm and 20 soft, right? So soft appointments are, yeah, just call me back then. Okay, that time works. Perfect. I'll give you a call then. That's a soft appointment. That's not firm at all. The likelihood they show up is cooked. A firm appointment is, hey, yeah, John, 3 o'clock. Cool. All right, I don't have a 3, I have a 3:15. Perfect. Go ahead and grab your pen and paper, John. Perfect. Cool. Here's my name. This was going on. And let me make sure I got your email address so you can get the notification. That's it. Cool. Did that come through? Yes. Cool. Did you get the text? Yes. Cool. Is there any reason you want me able to show? No. Perfect. Sounds good. John, now just so I'm clear here, you said you're married, right? Yes. So your wife will be on that call, I'm assuming, correct? No. Perfect. John, when's going to be a better time we get both of you? Obviously, I know it's important to you all, so I want to make sure I get the information to both of you all before, we go ahead and get this taken care of for you. Oh, well, blah, 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 right? So that's a firm booking, not, yeah, call me at 3 o'clock. And then I call them, it's a 50-50. If not, it's like a 30-70, meaning 30% they show, 70% they don't show, that they don't show. And now I'm all bent out of shape. Oh, I booked all these appointments. Nobody's showing, blah, 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 whatever. It's like, dude, if you're not even booking the appointments the right way, then of course you're not going to have the right show up rate. So you're not going to have the right close rate. But it starts with booking appointments. If you're also going for a presentation, if you're going to try to pitch a one-legger, don't be mad that you don't close. They're at work, you're trying to close them. You can. I'm not saying you can't, but don't be upset if they don't do it. Now for me, right, I'm going for the one call close. If I'm like, yeah, do you have 10 minutes to just go ahead and knock this out real quick so we can get this taken care of for you and your family? And they say yes, I'm going in. If they're like, I'm kind of moving around, I'm not going to try to force the agenda. I will book the appointment, right? That's what I'll do. Right now, if it's final expense, I'm just muscling through because final expense people pick up and you should have a lot of leads. It kind of bugs me, side note, how much people don't invest in leads. Like I just don't understand it. Like I'm like, dude, you're putting in no money and you're getting upset because you're not making any money. And it's like, dude, you're just not spending enough money on leads. I don't really know what you want me to tell you, but that's another tangent. So yeah, you got a soft booking, not a firm booking. So you have to know the difference between the two. And you have to get like 15 firm bookings or presentations every 2 or 3 days to hit 40K. Like you have like 2 to 3 days. Like you should have 30 a week that you can like go through and are solid. Now, if you get 30 presentations, you're going to sell way more than 40K. 30 actual presties, because if your close rate is even 50%, you're closing 8 policies. No, you're closing like 12 policies a week. That's like 12K easy. Like not including no his or hers, no big policies. You probably write 15K a week. That's like 60K an annual premium. And then issued, right? Or yeah, issued and then deposited. So you're able to like, the moral of the story is the first step is you figuring out how to book appointments. You have to know how to book appointments and why. Because if you can't get in contact with people and get through presentations, then you can't fix your sales process. So I had a gentleman text me the other day. He was like, yeah, bro, I've had 10 leads and 8 of them have picked up and knew exactly what it was, but I couldn't close them because it was a veteran lead, but it was like a veteran and it was like a widow. And I'm like, okay, sounds like an excuse. Like, I don't really see what you're talking about, bro. Just close them. And it's like this thought process of like, you not understanding and knowing that, at the end of the day, we're selling life insurance. It doesn't matter what kind of life insurance. Stop being so attached to what kind of life insurance and just sell the people what they need and get off the phone. And I think the first thing is like trying to overcomplicate booking an appointment. Like, dude, call them, tell them why you're calling them. If they're available, do it now. If they're not, knock it out in 15 minutes. It's like, I don't really see, or knock it out later. I don't really see why. Now, don't push the appointments out. So a lot of people will book appointments for a week later. Yeah, we're going to talk in a week. It's like, unless they're traveling, which even then, I'm not considering that a hard booking. I'm just a soft booking. Unless they're traveling, there's really no reason for me to like knock that out that far. I don't really see the show rate is going to be just absolutely cooked. So it's more beneficial for you to look at it from a wider scope to say like, hey, when I talk to these people, I need to fit them within the next 2 days. How am I going to do that? Max. And then you control and you force yourself to do that. If you just say, hey, when are you free? And you leave it open, you'd be like, hey, does tomorrow or Wednesday work? Or whatever. Does later tonight or tomorrow morning work? You control where they're at. See, the thing about booking appointments is the first part of the call, when you ask the why are you filling this out, who you are, why are you filling this out, and why am I calling you about. The next steps, when you get to this portion, this is actually you controlling call and giving options. You are no longer asking like, oh, like, why did you do this? You don't want open-ended. You want closed-ended questions at this point in time, right? Even here, you don't really just like, hey, I'm assuming that you filled this out because XYZ, XYZ, is that correct? But you want closed-ended questions when it comes to you actually booking a call. Because if you leave it up to them, they're like, well, just call me back then. And now you're cooked because now you're playing this cat and mouse. Versus if you just start out by saying, hey, does tomorrow evening work or tomorrow morning? This work or this work? And then they tell you. And then from there, you can structure the appointment the way you want to have full control and then move into you actually being able to book it. And then they are going to show. And that's how it works. And I really hope that this video was like helpful because I'm trying to drop more nuggets on like practical things to do. I know I have a lot of high level, long form videos that are 30, 45 minutes. You could go back and watch those, but I'm trying to focus on more like quick nuggets that you can take. Like booking appointments is so, so important. And like if you're booking a lot of appointments and you're not closing, bro, it's never a lead problem. You have to understand the only way that the leads are the problem in any sort of way, shape, or form, y'all, just so you're clear, the only way that the leads are actually the problem is if when you call people and they pick up, number one, they know what they think it's something completely different. Meaning like you're calling somebody about life insurance and they think it's about car insurance. You're calling somebody about pet coverage and they think it's about video games. Like that's a bad lead. Everything else is not really bad. Like nothing. It's like, well, these people don't want to move forward. It's like, bro, that's your job. Like they're just inquiring. Yes. What do you want? Hey, you have to sign up for life insurance when you fill this out. It's like, bro, if they were going to do that, they would just go sign up for life insurance. Or you're going to have to pay a whole lot more. You're not going to buy a lead for that. Like that's not how that works. You're basically paying for an application. If you want that, say that, but that's not what this is. This is a lead. Somebody that raised their hands. Your job to do your job. That's what you get paid for. The lead's not supposed to be a laydown. This is what people want to pay for, laydowns. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. So in order for you to understand that, you need to make sure you're putting people in the right position. You're actually caring about where they're at. And on top of that, you are controlling the conversation. Right? If you do that, you will book a lot of appointments. But if you're booking appointments, everything that happens after that is on you. It doesn't matter what happens. If you talk to the person and they say yes, if you don't close them, it's on you. Oh, they're broke. No, they're not. You didn't do a good enough job figuring out how much money they have. If you talk to 9 people, oh, they're all broke. Shut up. No, they're not. I'm sorry to tell you, that is such a false narrative. That's like me being like, oh yeah, all these agents are broke. I could say that if I want to, or I could just say, yo, this is just a reality of what's going on right now. They're not all going to have a lot of money. And that's okay. Most of the times they will. But if you don't complain. Just be like, yo, it is what it is. I don't understand. Like, so when you book appointments, that's the first step. You have to understand that after the initial call, everything else is on the agent. Everything is always on the agent, to be honest with you. But it's going to be hard to give an agent a bunch of leads where they think that it's a dentist's office and you're calling about life insurance. But if they know it's something around life insurance, you should be able to make it work. That's basically how I explain it to people. And if you can't, that's on you. It's a skill deficiency. Now, if you don't want to increase your skill that much, say that. But it's not a lead thing. And booking appointments is the first step in you knowing that. If you're booking and talking to a lot of people, but you're not closing, that is on you. Do not blame anybody else. Take accountability and figure out how to nail down appointments better, get people to show, and learn how to close, right? So hope this video helped. As always, please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.